dad's privacy is my dad's privacy, and that's it. Samantha has been a pain in my ass, okay? Samantha is in Florida trying to narrate, direct, and tell doctors what to do to my dad. Make sure they talk to me because I have a medical degree. Yeah, okay. Seriously, batshit crazy out in left field. My dad's privacy is my dad's privacy.
Phew, family. Where do we even begin with this one? Because the Markles have given us yet another episode in their never-ending series. Who wants to embarrass themselves today? And honestly, at this point, we need to add them to IMDb because the drama is cinematic. These people are fighting like they're competing for screen time on a reality show that absolutely nobody asked for. The dysfunction, elite level. The chaos, industrial grade. The self-awareness, nowhere to be found. Thomas Markle Jr. is out here acting like the voice of reason, puffing his chest like the spokesperson for privacy, while simultaneously giving interviews about the very private thing he claims to be protecting. The irony is so thick you could spread it on toast. Meanwhile, Samantha Markle is in Florida, of course she is, calling hospitals, directing medical professionals, and giving instructions like she's the head surgeon from Grey's Anatomy. The woman is literally in another state playing virtual doctor over speakerphone. You cannot make this stuff up. And poor Thomas Sr. My man is sitting there in a medical facility, minus a leg, probably just trying to heal, trying to relax, trying to maybe watch some reruns and sip some juice. And instead, he's stuck in the middle of these two grown adults arguing like toddlers who missed nap time. He must be wondering, where did I go wrong? Because one thing about these other Markles, they will turn anything, into content if they think there's a possibility of a check. Their loyalty is not to family, it's to the nearest camera lens. You'd think with such a serious medical situation, they'd try unity or compassion or even basic human decency for once. But oh no, that would be too normal, too peaceful, too healthy. The Markles prefer chaos on toast with a sprinkle of dysfunction. They are the definition of, if there's no drama, they'll create some. And this time, it's a full-blown family meltdown starring Junior versus Samantha in the ring, swinging insults like rusty swords. Junior is yelling about privacy, and again I must emphasize, he's doing this on camera. You cannot ask for privacy while sitting under studio lights. That's like screaming, "No pictures," during a photo shoot. But that's the Markles for you, contradictions wrapped in confusion covered in mess. Then Samantha, bless her chaotic little heart, is calling this man's phone, calling the doctors, calling anyone who will pick up the call, insisting she needs to be involved because she believes she has the authority. Authority from where? The University of Facebook Medical School. Because unless she suddenly picked up a degree in between lawsuits, I'm not seeing the qualifications. She's acting like she's the chief consultant for the Royal Medical Corps. Meanwhile, her track record includes picking fights with her own sister and losing court cases. She is out here auditioning to be Nurse Ratched while not even living in the same state. Thomas Jr. calling her a pain, calling her out of control, calling her delusional. Honestly, it's the first time he has sounded remotely self-aware. But let's not hand out trophies yet. Knowing him, he'll flip his story depending on who offers him an appearance fee. One thing about Junior, consistency is his mortal enemy. He'll say whatever suits him in the moment, which is why none of them can keep their stories straight. They're like a broken group chat where everyone lies at the same time. And here's the delicious part. Now that there's no Meghan drama to milk, the siblings are turning on each other. The money well dried up. The tabloids aren't cutting checks like they used to. And without Meghan Sussex as their storyline, they're cannibalizing each other for attention. You can practically hear the desperation through the screen. They only stop fighting when there's a chance to unite against Meghan for payment. Now that the tabloids aren't buying that narrative anymore, they're stuck with each other. And spoiler alert, they don't actually like each other. Meghan Sussex is somewhere in her beautiful home, drinking tea, cuddling her kids, minding her business, and absolutely thriving. She probably hasn't thought about these people in ages. Not once, not even a whispered thought before bed. Meanwhile, her siblings are reenacting WWE SmackDown over their father's medical care. Meghan left this group chat for her mental health, her boundaries, and her dignity, and thank goodness she did. Because look at this circus. Look at this chaos. Look at these grown adults conducting themselves like loose shopping carts in a windy parking lot. Meghan did what every therapist recommends. She removed herself from toxicity. She built a new life based on peace, love, respect, and emotional stability. And the other Markles? They're still fighting over crumbs of attention, battling for the spotlight, and yelling into the void. It's honestly sad but not surprising. Their behavior has been consistent for years, and not in the good way. Every time they open their mouths, the universe looks down and says, "Ah, still messy, as expected." What kills me is the way they try to pretend they care about Thomas Sr.'s well-being, when historically all they've ever cared about is using him as a prop. They wheel him out for sympathy whenever the narrative benefits them. But the moment he's actually in need of genuine support and unity, they're too busy fighting each other for clout. Happiness, respect, privacy? Those words don't exist in the Markle dictionary. Let's be honest, Thomas Sr.'s privacy has been compromised by his own children more than anyone else. Junior and Samantha have turned this man's life into a public circus. Every disagreement becomes a press opportunity. Every personal matter becomes a tabloid headline. And now they're going head-to-head because even they can't tolerate each other's nonsense. It's almost poetic. The drama they once aimed at Meghan has boomeranged right back into their own laps. Meanwhile, Meghan Sussex is glowing, flourishing, winning in silence, raising her gorgeous kids, supporting her husband, working on real projects, establishing businesses that sell out in minutes. She is booked, busy, thriving, moisturized, unbothered, and far, far away from this mess. The contrast is hilarious. She's out here living a life of elegance while her estranged relatives are reenacting a dollar store soap opera. And you know what? This situation proves why cutting them off was the healthiest move she could have ever made. How could anyone exist peacefully around this level of chaos? She would have been dragged into their fights, their lies, their manipulations, their desperate attempts to monetize her existence. It would have been endless. Instead, she set herself free. She focused on the family she chose, Harry, Archie, Lily, and created a life rooted in stability, something the Markles clearly don't understand. Junior yelling, "My dad's privacy is my dad's privacy," has to be the funniest part. Because, sir, if you respected privacy, you wouldn't be holding a microphone. You would be holding your emotions. Privacy does not involve press conferences. Privacy does not involve interviews. Privacy does not involve slamming your sister on camera. Privacy means silence, something this family refuses to try. By the end of this feud, Samantha will have claimed she's a doctor, a nurse, a surgeon, a therapist, a guardian, a lawyer, and probably the Queen of England. Junior will be telling contradictory stories in new interviews by next week, and Thomas Sr. will be sitting there wondering why his children turned a medical issue into a public brawl. It is sad, but it is also the perfect example of how some families simply cannot handle proximity to fame. They lose themselves. They chase cameras. They crave attention. And when that attention dries up, they turn on each other. This is karma-ing. Gravity is doing what gravity does. And Meghan? She's in the clouds, miles above all this nonsense. Honestly, the Markles need a family therapist, a group intervention, and a spiritual cleansing, preferably in that order, or maybe just a time-out. A long one, possibly permanent, because as long as a camera is around, they will always choose chaos over compassion. Meghan Sussex? She chose peace, and watching this meltdown unfold, it's clearer than ever that she made the right choice.